Hello and welcome back. This is Grillenheimer. I've been wanting to do some videos like this for a while, but I just haven't had the. I've been really busy. Um, Now, this is the first Studio 66 Jazz, and then this is that G2 recolor. I think his name is still Jazz, but just the articulation on these figures is really pretty cool. Now, originally thought that when I got this Jazz, let's get ugly out of the way. I still really like is that, when I try to aim their weapons, I always try to make sure that their eyes are in the same direction, which makes a little more sense. I mean, just look at, the G1, the original figure from the 80s would not have been able to do this. Now, when I first got this Jazz, let's turn him around just a little bit, get him sort of at attention to some extent with his pointing his arm, his guns up. Is originally I thought, I didn't think that these moved like this. He still seems a little stiff, and his knees are a little loose, or pretty loose. So I didn't think I could put his feet, at an angle like this. But once I was able to realize, oh, I can. Because I think I said something on Facebook and someone was like, yeah, you can. And just not very easily. And you have to really watch yourself. And because of how his big his feet are, you do have one at one angle and the other one another. You're going to need to kind of, which is still amazing to itself. The posability of these things is just insane. I just really enjoy it. Now this knee is a little down. So, and luckily, even though his knees are a little loose, you can kind of. Now I wish his head could move up and down a little more. But yeah, he's not even touching my laptop here. So you can make him, let's not blow out his kneecap like my wife has done. Put him in some pretty cool poses here. And again, have his eyes go in the same direction as where he's shooting. You normally can get him to balance pretty well. The orange one is better than this. With the knees. And if I have to cut this video short, I apologize. My wife is on her way with some lunch. Well, okay, dude. I just said you would balance. No, you're not doing it. Okay, there we go. And let's get a card so I can see. His foot's not even touching anything. Oh, energon leeches. Interesting. And when we get back to the card game, I'm working on it. I just haven't had the chance to do a video. I may have changed this symbol. It's basically the same, but it just looks too much like Pac-Man. There's too much space here. I've done something different. Unfortunately, everything with me is always in flux. I apologize. Anything can change at a moment's notice. But feel free to print out what I've done and try to integrate it with the game the best way you think possible. Unfortunately, a lot of my cards are not that strong. They're advantageous in certain ways, I think, but they're not that strong. But let's get back to Jazz here. So yeah, just really cool. Maybe put his hand out just a little bit to give it a little bit of balance. wow. If you don't have this figure, you might want to get it. It's one of my favorites. And just because it's Jazz. Oh, his foot was a little. So put his arm, his right arm at rest. Let's do that. I think an IDW cover was something similar to this, where he's in a similar pose like that. That's the only problem is, if you want him to look down, I mean, he can to some extent. You kind of have to push it down and then pull the whole thing back up. He doesn't really look up and down very well. I wish he did a little better than that. But still, not a bad figure. You might have to do a little bit of a balancing act, which is doable, considering how big his feet, his clodhoppers are. But, you know, still, just a great figure all around. Very posable, maybe not always able to balance very well, but, you know, it's Jazz. And then you can see how this Jazz actually has this back one that I don't think the other Jazz had that. And he has two different, his guns are different. But I mean, look at this pose that I put this one in. Just amazing. And again, you know, well, his head isn't quite in line with the gun. So, but you know, and yeah, there's open spots, and people complain about that and go, oh, QC issues and Hasbro and blah, 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 and all this and that and the other. Yeah, there is some of that. But at the same time, you wouldn't be able to transform him otherwise in some ways. But I got this one really cheap when Walmart was getting rid of them. And I'm like, okay, now I'll get the Day Glow Orange Jazz. And I'm glad I did, because it looks different. It's just, you know, the G2 colors. I wish the Dinobots had been cheaper when they were still around here. They're not. Haven't seen any of the Dinobots at all in months. And I probably never will, because there's just, even though I'm in Alabama, people love Transformers down here too, guys. Every state is about the same, really. We all have about the same strip malls, the same stores, a lot of the same stuff, and a lot of same likes. We're more alike than you think, except maybe our accents. So that, yeah, there's tons of scalpers. I am not one of them. I could tell you stories about the mid 90s and early 20s, double knot, you know, around that era, about, you know, 25 years ago, my cousin and I trying to go to stores in Walmarts at midnight when they would put stock out, and we'd look for Star Wars figures, Transformer figures, I almost said car robots 2000, but that was actually Robots in Disguise over here. But I was doing both of those. I had he's still here. He just moved recently. A comic book store that has a lot of stuff, and he used to carry a lot of those imported Transformer figures, and I got a few from him way back when too, and some Gundam models and whatnot. You know, I'm not big into Gundam, but I liked the models. Those were pretty fun to build. But yeah, that's a little loose right there. That's a little loose right there. But yeah, you know, try to line up the end of the gun with where he's looking, which you can really do with these figures. And, you know, awesome poses, awesome action poses we can do with these newer figures. It's just really cool. These are just so neat. I probably shouldn't be coveting these things or whatever, which is basically getting something you want that you don't need, or other people's stuff that you want that you don't need. But oh well, we all have our faults. But he's just a really, and he's got the G2 symbol on here, as opposed to, you know, the original symbol that this jazz has. This jazz has jazz hands. No, but yeah. What do y'all think of these figures? No, I didn't transform them because these guys are not hard to transform, but they take a while, and I don't have that kind of time right now. Like I said, I'm about to have some lunch. But thanks for watching. I wanted to try to get some more videos done like this, but now I'm actually working out of my office 5 days a week because I'm in a new position. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I was doing taxes. I was at home alone. I was getting pretty far. I'm almost done with hours anyway. I've got to do my kids also. I hope I can do that through the deluxe version, but you know, we'll see what happens. What do you think of these two figures? Do you know which one's your favorite? Just the original, excuse me, or the G2? Sorry for the funky angle. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. And as always, Autobots, let's transform and let's roll out.